and Karula seems to be relaxing. Let's go and find out whether her daughter has any plans for the afternoon.
Well, we've done a big search. We haven't had any luck with Hosana, so we decided to play a bit of the patience game, because there's a good chance he's going to get bored and maybe come looking for Xongile, who's still napping, and I can't resist sitting with the leopard. It's just so incredible. And hello, Sophia, who's 8 years old. Sophia would like to know, how many hours a day does a leopard sleep? Well, Sophia, 16 to 18 hours on average. So they really like their nap time. Now, the reason for this is because they get very hot. They can't move around too much, otherwise they get too hot to move. So what they do is they snooze till it gets cool. Obviously, on a day like today, it's quite cool, so they could probably move around. But because they're so used to snoozing, they're going to snooze, like her mom and what little Xongile is doing at the moment, having a good snooze. Now, she's so well camouflaged there. Now, some of you might be a bit worried that I'm sitting so close to the water's edge, and of course, there could be Boris the Blade about. But don't worry, Herbie and I have checked the whole perimeter. There are no crocodile tracks here, or no sign of where a crocodile's been sleeping. Now, Xongile keeps every now and then looking slightly more to the west, and I wonder if that's where Hosana is. And we were in that area. It's where we got mauled by the pepper ticks. So I'm sure he's close by. Lauren, how are you doing, Lauren? Lauren would like to know, how does Karula tell the cubs to stay and not go? Well, I suppose if we had to translate it into human terms with a very stern word, it's a hiss and a growl will let them know that they need to stay put and they shouldn't be meandering about. Oh, Shongi's going to sleep again. Just also remember, this is abnormal that you're able to do this with leopards on foot, and that's why I take such great pleasure in it. And also, I wouldn't recommend anyone who is not very experienced in the bush doing this. And of course, even though she is snoozing and stuff, if she started to show any sign of being uncomfortable with our presence, if she started trying to hide and flatten herself into the ground, and she looked like she was either nervous, scared, or angry, we would immediately completely move out of the area. Now, Herbie and I were chatting as we were looking for Hosana and making our way back towards Xongile about how positive this is for the future. So quite often you can have very relaxed leopard cubs, and as soon as they become independent from their mothers, they can get a little bit jumpy again. But Herbie and I both feel that Xongile, that she's showing this level of comfort with being tracked on foot. And normally tracking on foot is one person. And I mean, remember, we've 3 people here. There's Brian, and he's got a big aerial sticking out of his back, and Herbie and myself. And she's showing this level of comfort, which means she's going to be an incredibly relaxed adult, which is always great news. And that's how the Sabi Sands has got its reputation for leopards, is that over the years that people have worked really hard, spent a lot of time on foot and vehicles with leopards, and the legacy is still today. And I mean, the real habituation process with leopards started in the 70s. Before, if you saw a leopard, you were lucky. And then people started putting serious effort into tracking them and finding them and sticking with them. And it's not easy. I mean, leopard viewing in the Sabi Sands looks easy now, but it's a good 45 years of work that's gone into it. So I've had the fortunate experience of being in sort of lots of different places in Africa, in areas where the animals aren't habituated, and it takes an incredible amount of time. I mean, even a lion, which you wouldn't think so, but a lion pride that's not used to people, never seen vehicles and stuff, takes a good 6 to 7 months to habituate. And then even still, and not like the Nkuhumas, you've still got to park sort of 20, 30 meters away, otherwise they start getting nervous. Leopard can generally take years unless you've got some luck. And the luck of the draw is you need to be very lucky, and one of the females you find needs to have very young cubs, because then you habituate the cubs. They don't have sort of that adult nervousness that animals have yet, and if you habituate the cubs, they will habituate their mother. Now, habituating adult male leopards that are nervous is probably the most difficult, and it can take 3-4 years to habituate an adult male that's not used to people yet. But with Xongile and Hosana, I mean, look at this. I mean, Hosana's a little bit more nervous on foot. We've seen that before. When he was in the tree, he shows signs, so you immediately move out when you find Hosana on foot. But, I mean, the last 2 times that I've spent on foot with Xongile, last time she was up in a tree, and I was actually ended up much closer than I am now to her, and that was incredible. That was amazing. But enough of my nattering on about the habituation of leopards. If you have any questions, hashtag Safari Live, questions at wildearth.tv about the habituation of leopards. But let's go to a fully habituated
question. Right. Let us go across and see how the Hosana Brent Brian combination is working out.
This is I am in leopard heaven, and he's stalked us now. Oh, sorry, I moved a little bit fast. Let me move back in. So he stalked us. He came from the other side of the dam. He's covered over 100 meters to get close to us, and he's now found himself a nice termite mound where he can pop his head up and watch us very carefully. And look at him, he's a silly boy. And Xongile is still fast asleep. She hasn't even lifted her head from where she was. Hey, mister. It's okay. Now, this is very common young male leopard behavior. When you track them on foot, they'll often sneak up after you. So this is very, very special. Now, Sindile used to do this a lot. He followed Jamie for up to like 200 meters back to the car the one day. Hey, mister. But this is really positive, because in the past, Hosana, I'm just going to sit now. Hosana has, where do you want me, Brian? Sorry. No. So Hosana has been, where do you want me? Keep turning. Hosana has been a lot less relaxed on foot, and he tends to sneak away. Now, this is the first time he's shown that same behavior as Sindile. Sindile did it from a lot younger age. You sort of sneak up. But I think he's probably been watching us, as Jamie predicted, for quite some time while we've been sitting with Xongile. And I think he might have even followed us. So we went on that long walk up to where he was, and now we've come back into this area, and I think he followed us back here. So this is very, very special. And as I said, it's not something that you would do normally with leopards, but we have been following these leopards since they were little sausages. I mean, I saw Hosana and Xongile when they were a couple of hours old, completely blind. Oh, he's stalking around again. I think he's going to pop out at that next termite round. There he is. Look at that. Look at him pop around the next corner. Look at him pop around the next corner. Look how close he's getting. What are you doing, mister? This is amazing. This is just too special for words. Now, again, I'm going to ask you for a one-word tweet. How would you feel if you were sitting on the ground being stalked by a male leopard? He's getting closer again. What are you doing, mister? So he's just come in front of the termite mound. Now watch this. Now Herbie and I are going to turn our backs. Is he moving, Brian? So normally, as soon as you turn away and stop looking, then you turn and look back at him, he stops moving again. He's now what do you reckon, Brian? 15? 15 meters. And Xongile is 30 meters to the left of us. Now, we've been spoilt and we've been hogging these little leopards for quite some time. And I know Andrew has just arrived behind us. He didn't know we were here. So we're probably going to maybe walk on, see what else we can find. But, or maybe we'll stay for 5 more minutes. This is just too amazing. Xongile is still sleeping. Hosana, look at him. Yeah, I see you. Now he is going to be a magnificent male. He's already huge for his age. Well, we're going to spend a little bit more time here, and then we're going to let Andrew come in the vehicle so his guests can enjoy this incredible sighting. And we'll probably move off and go walk somewhere else. But while we do that, let's go back to Jamie, who's
still walking around.
Wasn't that amazing? Wasn't that absolutely incredible? I mean, walking across quarantine looking at flowers now seems so dull. Oh, wasn't that exhilarating? Absolutely splendid. Actually, it was so splendid I'm going to run up a termite mound. No, let's not go quite that far, Brian. I wasn't in the circus like you. Wow, what a way to spend your afternoon, or half of it at least.